Welcome to the GPLama YouTube channel, and it has been a busy week of updates and information coming at us from Zwift. So in this video, I'll be covering off Game Client version 1.48. We'll take a look at this season in Zwift, outlining everything new coming up on the platform over the next few months. The Zwift Hub smart trainer has a firmware update and also has a pricing adjustment. We'll look into the details of that too. All right, starting off with Game Client version 1.48. Okay, mostly fixes and changes. Before starting on the interesting ones of those, just a reminder, the Apple Silicon roller is now at 100% for the native binary of Zwift on machines that support that on macOS. If you've got one of these machines, it should be running a little bit more efficiently now for Zwift. Okay, top to bottom of this one, well, I'll pick out the interesting ones. Lots of Zwift Play fixes for this with the game controllers. Second on the list there, kick a bike, you now must press and hold U-turn before it will initiate a U-turn. Something I did encounter with the new bike shift. You just press that auxiliary button once and you turn around straight away. That's now been fixed, press and hold. Jumping down to the next interesting one, fix an issue which caused some custom workouts not to sync across multiple devices. So if you created a custom workout on a Mac or a PC, it should load on any other Zwift system that you loaded on. That's all done in the cloud. That should now work a little better if it hasn't been. There's another issue there with fit files, but the one I will pull out and highlight right here is fixed an issue where activity progress fit files would become corrupted after quickly skipping workout intervals, resulting in Zwift getting stuck on the save screen and inability to upload fit files to Garmin Connect. Now, the reason I'm focusing on this one is because this has existed for quite some time now, and it's caused a lot of pain for a lot of people. So ever since I can remember, running the Llama lab test, which is a custom workout, sometimes it would upload to Garmin Connect, sometimes it wouldn't. The files would go to Strava just fine, but Garmin Connect was a bit hit and miss. It wasn't until user NoRecord3853 posted a question over here on the Zwift subreddit forum, pretty much explaining what was happening for their rides as well, which was the same as what's happening for mine. Now, user Rowdy Echo Bravo gave us a little insight onto what may fix this. So skipping a workout block really quickly in less than a second after it starts can prevent your fit file from uploading automatically. This is to Garmin Connect. So again, Strava's fine, Zwift is fine, your stats would be fine. Just Garmin Connect wasn't getting these uploads. You can still run it through a corrupt time fixer and upload it manually to Garmin. That little bit of information led me down a deep rabbit hole. And with the thanks of my friend Ant over in New Zealand, we dived into the details of the fit file and found that Zwift wasn't correctly writing the lap start and finish times for those skipped intervals. They'd be blank. Now, Strava would happily accept those malformed fit files, but Garmin, specifically Garmin Connect, wouldn't actually accept those files. It said it was corrupt, wouldn't upload, resulting in just nothing appearing on Garmin Connect after your Zwift rides. Now, without knowing what was causing this, a lot of people were suggesting as a solution on the forums to unlink your Garmin Connect account to Zwift and relink it. And depending on what people did on their next ride, whether they skipped an interval or not, it would work or it wouldn't. I'm sure this has caused hundreds and hundreds of hours of headaches overall. Anyhow, this now works. Zwift are now no longer writing that corrupt fit file when skipping intervals. Anyway, I've spent too long on this. It's now fixed. If you've been having issues with Garmin Connect and are doing workouts and skipping intervals, this is the solution that we've all been waiting for. Now, to summarize and quickly sail through the rest of those updates, just minor improvements and fixes to Zwift Play, Zwift Play, Zwift Play, Zwift Play, Zwift Hub, Elite Riser, 2 client portal fixes, something over there in France, Ven Top Route. But the last one captures my attention. And could it very well be that they've improved the elevation tracking in London and Richmond worlds? Was it Fox Hill or Box Hill where the little mini-map elevation never worked? I haven't jumped on those worlds with this new build to have a look at that. If you've been able to confirm that this is a fix for that, let me know in the comments below. And finally, in 1.48, fixed an issue that could cause crashes when navigating through game menus on iOS, general improvements to game memory usage, that's a good thing. Windows, Intel Arc A77M GPUs now have the Ultra Graphics Profile enabled, and 2 crash fixes right there. Okay, that's game version 1.48, staggered rollout. You should have it by the weekend if you don't already. Now on to this season on Zwift, Zwift's regular update to let us know what's coming a few months or maybe a few weeks in advance, and everybody will be very pleased to know there's new tarmac coming to Watopia. And that's all we get, just a few seconds of video and some still shots here from the development process. Fishing village, looks all relatively flat. Bit of a Goonies vibe with that shipwreck there. More forest and some pastel coloured houses. What's important though is the map. Where does this go? Where does it lead us? Well, they list here 19 kilometres of new roads, But they could be being very, very tricky with it. It could be 9.5 Ks, and they're counting both directions. Starting off there at the bottom of the desert, at the roundabout, making its way around the back of the epic KOM into everybody's favourite, well, maybe a few people's favourite, the jungle, and near the base there of the Alpe de Zwift. Now, what this opens up is a number of routes, route options, and no doubt a ton more route badges to achieve. The first chance you'll get to ride this new tarmac is during the Tour of Watopia Stage 5. Now, the Tour of Watopia starts on October 2nd. Doing the math on that, Stage 5 will come a few days later. Look, I'm guessing around October 10th to 15th, maybe. Don't quote me on that one, but it will be around about that time. Now, Tour of Watopia will give you double XP, so they're always a very, very popular bunch ride to join in on. Now, in a time where I think everyone finally has their head around trainer difficulty, Zwift throw us this curveball. Welcome to the Climb Portal update that changes the in-game virtual elevation or gradient experience. So this has nothing to do with trainer difficulty. As you approach a climb here, you can select a different experience, 50%, 75%, or 100% on screen there. So you're climbing either 304 meters of elevation, 455 or 607 for this climb to, I think it's climb to Hollywood sign. That'll pop up. Now in game, I'm guessing they could have separate leaderboards for each of those. But over on Strava, if they're not separating out the virtual GPS coordinates, this is going to be an absolute nightmare, with everyone obviously setting the fastest time with that less gradient simulation there, the 3.5%. But this is going to be a fun one. Now I do like the option here and the change to the in-game experience, because to be honest, a few of those 100% simulations are absolutely brutal. Sometimes I just want to ride my bike and have fun. 20% gradients are really not what I like doing for fun. So maybe switch it back to 50 and not have to touch your trainer difficulty. I like the idea. Going to cause a few problems though, possibly over on Strava. Two additions to what Zwift are calling Play Beta and some gamification using the Play controllers and the steering. Now we have Repack Rush here, and that will be turned into a multiplayer experience where you can race others, grab those time bonuses, maybe chase people down, and do all those gamified things. But not only Repack Rush getting the touch there, Crit City will also optionally be gamified. So I'm keen to see where this one lands for them. It's good to see them still testing the waters with the gamification. But you know what? It's still no velodrome that people have been asking for quite some time. And Zwift Academy kicks off on November the 6th. Now, if you want a full list of everything listed with the This Season on Zwift media release this week, I'll put a link in the video description below where you can check out all the details. Next up, we have firmware version 5.2.0, which has been released for the Zwift Hub, which has a staggered rollout of just over 2 weeks there, between the 13th and 27th, at which time, if you're a Zwift Hub owner and use the companion app, you will see a little update notification. 2 updates there: recovery via companion app if the firmware update fails, and Bluetooth connection parameters for better connection stability. Just a few minutes to install, it'll take you through it. It's a handheld process, and once installed, as you can see happening here on mine, success, jump over to device details, and firmware version 5.2.0 is happily on my unit. And finally today, still on the topic of Zwift Hub, Zwift are now bundling a 12-month subscription with the Zwift Hub hardware. This does increase the price just a little bit, but not by what you'd expect to pay for an extra 12 months of Zwift. Details on screen here. Zwift Hub bundles are available in the United States, UK, EU from Zwift.com for $5.99 US, €5.99 Euros, and £5.49, including 1 year of Zwift and your choice of cassette 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. So nothing changes there in regards to the hardware, but they are bundling that 12-month subscription in. To answer a lot of questions that I'm sure will pop up with this new bundling, Zwift do have a lot of questions and answers over on their website. The 2 things that I'll pull out here that are interesting is that if you are a Zwift subscriber and you do purchase a Zwift Hub, you can apply that 12 months of membership, and in your next billing cycle, you won't be charged for that next 12 months. And reading between the lines, or more specifically reading that line right there, gives us an indication that annual memberships for everyone are on the horizon. Okay, we've covered a lot of virtual ground in this video today, so we'll leave it right there. As always, if you found this informative, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe to be across more videos uploaded to this channel, and thanks for watching.